All right, welcome back, everyone. This is episode 2 of the Dabble Den. It's great to have you guys back. We're going to be chatting and dabbling into all things pop culture. This is Tori. My big fandom's Captain America. You guys will get to know me well, but I'll introduce the two Dans you see on the screen. You guys go ahead.
Hi, guys. It's Danny once again. Just saying hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. This is going to be a great show today.
Yeah, and this is the other Dan. Good to see you guys.
Well, this week, we're excited to welcome our very first guest to the Dabble Den. We have Doug and Will, and they should magically appear now.
Hey, guys. My name is Doug. I'm sitting here in sunny San Diego, home of Comic-Con International. And I'm a teacher who's been fortunate enough to have been attending Comic-Con now for 20 years. So I'm all about pop culture talking.
And I'm Will. I'm also here in San Diego, obviously. I'm a senior graduate senior and also very much a pop culture nerd.
It's great to have you guys on. We asked Doug and Will on. I've known Doug for a couple years now from our Comic-Con group. And then later on, we're going to be talking MCU. And there's nobody I know who knows more about the MCU. So glad to have you guys on. So we're going to Oh, sure thing. Well, we're going to kick it off with the fan favorite segment. What Figpins did Danny receive this week?
There's a lot of them. I went a little overboard this week, or I do a lot of pre-orders, so I got a lot of them. So I don't know where to start. I have so many. Let's start with one of my favorite franchises here. I'm going to do them in pair. Do it a little bit quicker. We got Vegeta and Goku. Great ones. And then we got Ultra Instinct Goku.
That one's amazing.
Then we're going to go ahead and just switch gears. This is a great transition to Hello Kitty. Now, this one is a 6-in-1 chase, so I didn't get the chase this week, but I'll have one. It's going to have a little bit different coloring with I think she's wearing a green dress, but Hello Kitty. Minnie Mouse. It's not a newer release, but I got it in a mystery box, which I'll give my first shout out here for the mystery box. So shoptaggem. I got actually the Ultra Instinct Goku as well as the which one was it? Minnie Mouse on this one. So they're a great shop, great people over there. They also have pretty good a good variety of other pop culture items. FYE Gran Torino.
That's awesome.
Don't know if you guys are able to see that one. There you go. And then GameStop had some exclusive mini ones. So we have little mini All Might, Deku. Oh, I don't like saying her name. Uraku. And then my favorite, he's in here somewhere. I had him ready to go to show. I misplaced him. Bakugo. There isn't Bakugo. He's awesome. My favorite. I misplaced my favorite. I don't know how. And then we have a little Gohan.
Oh, yes.
He was a bad boy right here. And then I did another mystery box by stackempops. You were supposed to go ahead, if you won, you were to get one of the Wonder Woman ones. I didn't get the Wonder Woman, but I did get a Fallout Vault Boy. If you can see it here.
There it goes. Yeah.
So that's what I got. I did a couple different additional orders, which we'll see in the upcoming future. But yeah, that's what we got for Figpins. I'm really excited about them. I am. Now, I did say that I was going to get that chase. It's in the mail. I think it'll be in the mail today. So next week, you'll see that Hello Kitty complete me.
So I think everybody could tell by now, this is our second week. 1 week you only had what, 1, 2 maybe?
Yeah.
You'll see as this goes on, he truly has an issue. but it's a good one. Yeah, some of those are that Ultra Instinct one that one's pretty amazing. I like the Fallout Boy too. All right, well, next up, we're going to go into exclusive releases that are coming up for pre-order, or some of the things that popped up on the web or the different fandoms we follow. So I'll kick it off to Dan to lead us off.
Yeah, so it may not be Figpins, but some really cool pins got released today, or not today, but recently. Some Mandalorian pins. If you guys love the Mandalorian, these came out. These are really great quality over here. I got a copy of them. I really love anything Star Wars, and great quality pins, great show. It's a great time to show some good support.
With $25,
a great price.
Pins, yeah. Like I've done some shopping at the Disney stores at Disneyland and Disney World, like getting 10 pins, Star Wars pins for $25. That's you're not going to see that too often.
It's pretty awesome.
No, it's definitely a great value. If you like Tori, you were saying, if you go to Disneyland and you go in and looking at the pins, you get high quality pins, but they tend to be on the pricier side. Even what my current love for Figpins, they'll run you $10, $15, $25 if you get an exclusive. So this right here, this whole set is an amazing value. It's in a good setup, good packaging. It looks really good set.
Yeah, that's inexpensive for Disney pins. It's a great price.
Yeah.
The packaging does look good too. Yeah, and then I didn't get it, but Dan, I know you went on and bought it. You guys are pin collectors, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that cover, the box or cover or whatever it is, that looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's not going to go on this one, but it's definitely going to be part of the collection.
All right, well, I've got a couple ones to talk to you guys about. First up, Entertainment Earth is releasing Snake Eyes, a G.I. Joe Snake Eyes, and that's his premiere in the 6-inch figure. It's for pre-order right now, so if you guys are G.I. Joe fans, I would get on Entertainment Earth and then jump on that. Between Snake Eyes, that's pretty much, I think, everybody's favorite G.I. Joe character. I think that's the consensus. So if you're a G.I. Joe fan, I would jump on that thing. $21 for a pre-order isn't bad at all.
Yeah, and I definitely would jump on that too, for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm doing these two because of the time frame. I'm the oldest of us, and these were actually real toys when I was a kid. So you guys are like, Will, that you like them now. It's a way last one. And then next up actually came from Will pointed out this Transformer pre-order. Will, you want to tell us about it?
So yeah, it's from Takara. It's from the Generation Selects semi-exclusive line. They went very obscure with this one from the Japanese series, 80s series, if I believe. God Neptune. It's remolds and repaints from the Piranacon combined that was released a few months ago. And so yeah, they turned to God Neptune.
And then that one's on. You guys got that from. That's if you're on a Pulse member, you can pre-order right now, right?
Yeah. Pretty expensive, but then again, that about fits the price because the newer combiners are pretty big. So
yeah, if you're a Transformer completist, I don't see how you're not going to be able to get any of those obscure ones. That's going to be the ones that everybody loves.
Unless you have no money.
I'll kick it off to Danny.
All right, I'm going to take everybody back to 1990. If you guys remember, it was the height of the popularity. Maybe a little, maybe a year too late, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember. The 90s was a long time ago for me. But what I do remember is how much and how excited I was for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And right now, NECA is going to be releasing some. It's a Walmart exclusive. Walmart exclusives can be either very easy or very difficult, but it's a 2-pack of Casey Jones and Raphael. Ton of accessories. If you know anything about the NECA line, they are great quality toys. They have a lot of different other licenses, but I think one of the fan favorites, Stephanie, is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this is a great one, especially with all the accessories. I think it's going to be running around $40, $50, I think is what I read online about them, but It's a really good one. And that trench coat, if you do like action figures, that's going to be repurposed somewhere to someone else. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, the NECA line is nice. That's one of the ones, you know, when I've had friends find out I'm going to Comic-Con, I think the last 3 years, I've had requests to hit the NECA booth to get people the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set that were released at NECA. So those are definitely popular. Good luck getting those at Walmart. I don't know if you can like snag it on Walmart online or not, but good luck. If you're a Turtle fan, good luck grabbing that Walmart exclusive. Hope you get it.
And you know, I know you just mentioned Comic-Con. Last year, I just want to go ahead and just sneak this one in. Last year, I was in the Mezco line. Not going to talk about what happened that first night on preview night. Let's just say I had to walk away without anything. But anyways, Mezco did just go ahead and release a pre-order for the Blade. So that one's going to be an amazing detail. Right now, it is actually, I think they may have sold all out, so you can go ahead and log in and try to get on their wait list. They're pretty good about having people get the figures on the wait list. I've been waitlisted, I think, on a handful of occasions and still been able to get the figure. But if you've never had a Mezco, they're on the pricier side for an action figure. This one, I believe, is going to run you about $80, if I remember correctly. But it has $85. It has tons of accessories as well. The quality on their costumes are great. They're fully articulated, so this is definitely something that I'm excited for just being an action figure and a Mezco fan as well.
The Mezco's articulation on those things are amazing. I got a couple cap ones, and then I've seen Danny takes himself as an amateur action figure. What is that even called when you do the photos of them fighting to each other?
I'm a photographer. All right. I know nobody wants to do no human wants to do photography with me, be my subject. So I get the action figures. Second best thing. But you know, I'm excited about this Mezco Blade one, but I'm also excited for the new Blade movie that is going to be slated to come out in the near future. And I know that we have an expert here on almost everything Marvel. Doug, I know he's our expert here that was going to be talking about the future of the Marvel Universe. So Doug, take it away.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a weird time right now because a lot of the movie productions are obviously shut down. And that also means a lot of the news and rumors. It's almost like the Wild West where a lot of people that I know who have contacts with Marvel have told me that everything is kind of dark right now because there's not a lot of people going into Marvel Studios office and getting work. So there's a lot less easily verifiable leaks, I guess is the nice way to say. But the one positive is Bob Chapek, Walt Disney company CEO, was in a conference call earlier recently to give their quarterly financial news to investors. And he did say that all the movies and TV shows that are shot are done and should not miss due dates. So, I mean, that's good news for stuff like, like the next Marvel movie that is slated to come, which is Black Widow, which was due to come out, I believe, last weekend. But due to all the theaters being closed, they bumped it to November 6th, 2020. And it's already done. It's shot in the can. And like I said, Bob Chapek said that post-production is still ongoing. They're still able to work on special effects, still able to work on editing. So that just means we have to wait out the coronavirus to see the next Marvel movie.
It was sad. Yeah, it was sad we didn't get Black Widow. That one I was on the fence with. I mean, I wanted to see it. Obviously, I don't think there hasn't been a Marvel movie in a long time that I didn't like, but I wasn't super psyched to it till they did those last couple teaser trailers they came out with, and then you saw the typical comedy that Marvel's able to squeeze in, and it just seemed weird to me kind of where it fits in. It's almost like a Rogue One kind of thing. You know, it's the before kind of stuff that leads into, you know, characters that you love. But yeah, the trailers on it look amazing. And then as a big cat fan, Taskmaster was always one of his tough ones. So yeah, the movie looks good. The fight, yeah.
And it kind of has footage I've seen kind of has that Atomic Blonde vibe, you know, where it's got that kind of female special agent. The fight scene that they played at the Marvel panel for Comic-Con last year really kind of gave me that Charlize Theron.
Oh, yeah.
That fight scene where there wasn't like tons of sappy music or anything. It just felt like kind of a more gritty action sequence. So looks like a fun one. And it's good to know at least that that's probably mostly ready to go right now. We're just waiting for the sickness to pass.
Yeah, we finally got a movie that got pushed back, not for rewrites and edits and because they didn't think it was going to make any money. This one was nobody's fault.
Right. And on the same hand, the Disney Plus Marvel series WandaVision has also been confirmed to be finished shooting. So that's another one where they're just working on post-production right now. And I don't think Marvel has set a release date for really any of their Disney Plus series yet. I know the next one that was supposed to hit
in the fall
was Falcon and the Snowman, or Falcon and the Soldier. All right, there we go. Thinking back to that old ShangChi movie. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which had, I believe, a couple of days shooting left in Czechoslovakia, and they were shut down for the coronavirus. And news came up in the last couple of days that Czechoslovakia is back open for film production companies. So I expect Marvel to be able to finish that up in the next month or so. So maybe we'll get to see that by the end of the summer, early fall.
Yeah. So what do you guys, we talked last week. I'm pretty excited. After The Mandalorian came out, I'm pretty excited to see what Disney Plus is going to do with these Marvel shows. And then the hype was obviously there when we're at like a big panel at New York or San Diego Comic-Con. But like, what do you guys really think about WandaVision and then Falcon and Winter Soldier? The WandaVision one, I just don't know. I think I'm gonna like it. I just don't know. What is it?
I'm the most excited about the WandaVision just because I know it's gonna tie into the Doctor Strange movie, and I like Doctor Strange. I like where it's going. I've read a couple pieces. Can anybody confirm if Nightmare is gonna be in there? Because I feel like that's kind of what it could turn into. Because they said they're gonna have a horror vibe.
Yeah, I've heard that. And the good thing, I think Marvel is at its most fun when it's at its most weird. Mm-hmm. You know, like you think of some of those classic Kirby comics, and they weren't great just because he was an amazing artist, but he truly brought the weird and the crazy. And, you know, I think those great actors that they have for WandaVision, especially Paul Bettany as Vision, I think that could be a fun series. I mean, we know very little about that one, and it's hard to tell even where that sits in the grand scheme of Marvel films. You know, obviously the last we saw Vision, he was dead. And at the end of Endgame, they made they didn't even pretend that, oh, well, maybe he'll be back. You know, they strongly implied that he was dead, and Wanda, you know, kind of mentioned saying goodbye to him at Stark's funeral. So that's one I feel like I know the least about as far as story-wise, but I think to me that makes it its most fun. I know it's
a great platform for them to be able to do short little stories, but also experiment and say, well, what does WandaVision look like, and how can we just kind of throw that around, play around with it, make it weird?
Right. I mean,
okay, well, it's not major movie production. We didn't lose a terrible amount to.
Right. And I think if you ask the average person, well, what is Wanda's actual powers? We don't really know. Her actual powers are whatever the script calls for in any given scene, So I think WandaVision will be a good exploration of what she's truly capable of. I mean, comic book wise,
she can do anything.
She's one of the most powerful people in the Marvel universe. And we've seen hints of that, I think, in some of the more recent Marvel Avenger films, but I think WandaVision will be between her powers and Vision's robot wanting to be human stuff. I think that has potential to be both fun and maybe gloriously weird. And one thing, going back to Mandalorian, I know Marvel TV, in my opinion, has been lacking in production values. Maybe is kind of a polite way. It's not bad per se. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a show that when it's chugging along, it's a very fun series, but there's times where it looks like a TV show, where it's got kind of cheap TV production values.
Like a sci-fi channel. It's a good sci-fi channel show.
Right. Yeah. But Mandalorian showed us that Disney is totally fine throwing lots of money into the technology, into the costumes. I mean, when you look at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there was one early, I think it was in the first season, where they had somebody from Thor Dark World to kind of like tie it in.
Oh, I forgot her name.
Lady Sif.
Lady Sif was chasing the Enchantress.
Right, and her costume compared to the movie version looked, like a step above what you buy your kid at Walmart in October. Like it just felt like the TV version of someone we know from the movies. The Mandalorian, the props, the costumes they look just as good as their big budget movie counterparts. So I mean, I'm really excited to see now that Kevin Feige is in complete control over everything Marvel, both TV and film. I'm very excited to see what they do with the new Disney Plus series.
Well, let's talk about the most important one, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
There we go.
I'm pumped. Like, I'm a cat fan, a traditional cat fan, but and then still probably Winter Soldier is my favorite Marvel movie. And then part of it's I'm a cat fan, and I just loved it when it came out. I loved the political thriller kind of Jason Bourne kind of feel to it. But I'm hoping they do a good job with the show. I really don't. You haven't seen too much of. I don't really think anybody's taken the mantle of Captain America. I think this is the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, not like the replacement for Captain America. And they're bringing back, the Baron Zemo character. So I'm excited for it. I mean, like I said, I've said it a bunch of times. Like, after watching The Mandalorian, I just got this warm feeling in my heart about. I feel like everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one as well. I'll be curious to see the chemistry that builds between Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think Sebastian Stan is not the most charismatic actor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Maybe that's being generous to put it that way, but
he's supposed to be dark and brooding, right? Though,
right.
But Mackie's at like a 12, so you only need a 6, and then you're like,
right. Yeah, I mean, he played great off of Chris Evans, obviously, but I think there's potential there, and the Falcon is a great character that I think has proven on the big screen. He's a fun character that a lot of people want to spend a little bit more time with. And both he and I think Bucky to a smaller extent. It's exciting to see both of those kind of get their own spotlight.
Yeah, we kind of saw like some bits of that in Civil War, but it'll be great to see him like full on for the series.
Yeah, one of my great throwaway lines from Civil War is during the big airport battle where Falcon and the Snowman.
You're dating yourself.
I know, it's hard to be a 40-some-year-old movie night. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. One of my are chasing Spider-Man. They get tied up by Spidey's web and they kind of get knocked out for a minute. And Falcon quips something. I don't remember exactly what he says, but then Winter Soldier kind of looks at him and deadpans, "I hate you."
It's the other way.
The other way around?
Yeah.
All right, my Marvel card is now gone.
Take over.
Yeah.
Overthrow the previous generation.
It happens at one time in everyone's life. The kids get smarter than them. But well, you were talking earlier about Jack Kirby and weird stuff. That's a good segue into the next Marvel movie after Black Widow.
Oh yeah, the Eternals. But they were Jack Kirby's arguably like his last great contribution to the Marvel comics, where he wrote it not long after he returned to Marvel in the 70s, I believe. So they haven't really gotten a lot of spotlight or anything in the comics. It's definitely it was a very interesting choice to go with, but I feel I'm excited for that. I mean, they made a talking raccoon and a sentient tree stars, so.
Yeah, who were the Guardians before like the movie come out? That was an obscure run,
right.
Comic run, but
especially
I don't know too much about it, but I think so. If I'm gonna like mimic the big mass media questions about Eternals, it's like, well, where were they when Thanos was around?
Yeah, who knows?
Like the cast, oh my gosh, that cast, when they brought everybody out on the panel at Comic-Con, just one big name hitter after another.
I think that's going to be the greatest thing. I think a lot of people don't know what to go. They're going to go into not knowing what's going on, who they are. Really, I mean, I'm a big comic book fan myself, and I've read them once over in the past, and I'm like, I don't know anything about any of these guys, and I think that's going to be where a lot of the fun is, because I don't know if my expectations are low or high at this point. Marvel, I have my expectations high, but in terms of who they are, they're low, but it's exciting. Their cast is no joke. Like, they brought some really great heavy hitters out for this movie.
Doug, do you have any idea of the timeline of the Eternals? Like when it fits in?
I'm not sure yet. No, I haven't heard exactly how it's going to fit in yet. I mean, great thing about Marvel and being cosmic, and I like to look at my parents as the average movie audience, because they don't really know
anything
much about comics. They don't read, the internet on gossip. And for a long time during phase 1 and 2, the Sunday after an opening weekend, I would field like a dozen questions from my mom. Who is that guy? And who is the guy with the eye patch? Your dad was excited about him, but who's that? What's this Avengers Initiative thing? And, now she's excited about, I can't wait to see that talking tree some more. So the thing about the Eternals is that where everybody is already open to the cosmic weird side, whether it was because of Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think we're just kind of open to whatever Marvel wants to throw at us. It feels like they're changing a lot of the core aspects of the characters, but they're keeping Kirby's visual style. And I think that's the important thing. The thing about Eternals, the comics, is they've had a pretty decent line of writers. Like Neil Gaiman wrote for the Eternals for a while, and nobody has made a run of Eternals that was great for one reason or another. Like, everyone has kind of tried and slightly missed the mark. So at least with Eternals, there's probably no one, even diehard comic fans, that, oh my gosh, they changed that character and that character wasn't. deaf in the original series, and that character wasn't Pakistani in the original. I don't think anyone's going to care. So the fun is Marvel
That'll
can
be
just
nice for a change.
It'll be the select few. There'll be like a small bit
Right.
that are never
That-
happy.
Yeah, that always happens though.
I shouldn't underestimate the internet, right?
So do you think this is going to be the introduction to the next big baddie of the MCU? Is going to be in Internals?
There's certainly potential, but
Maybe
really,
I've heard rumors that Captain Marvel was kind of the introduction of the next big Marvel event, and that I've heard from friends of friends. Like I've heard from some people who know Marvel Studio insiders that have said that at least this far out things could change, but that the Captain Marvel sequel will be similar to Civil War, as far as that's going to be the next status quo changer that catapults the next big Avengers type event. And I've heard that the Kree Skrull Wars in the form of Secret Invasion, Secret Wars is what is going to potentially be coming down the pipe for the MCU.
I think because they kind of turned it on its head, and because it was always the Skrulls were bad and the Kree were the goods, and they did the. Well, I don't care about doing spoilers on here, but they obviously did the big twist where they were leading us down the path, and then how many Skrulls are left? And then the way we're supposed to take it right now is they're the good guys.
Well, there weren't a lot in the 90s, and then when remember after Spider-Man Far From Home, we saw that huge, it looked like some kind of space station thing.
Yeah.
Full. So
Nick Fury's vacation home.
And why didn't they help when Thanos was?
That's a great question. Yeah.
Me and Jeff are concerned about
We didn't have enough people in Endgame. We needed more help.
We needed Howard the Duck to more spotlight, give them more spotlight time in Endgame.
Yeah. I mean, I think Marvel has shown that they're more than willing to go the comic book route of, if you want to make up an answer to some question like that, we'll clap and give you the no prize and move along with our life and not worry about those kinds of deep questions. With Far From Home, they pretty much just laughed off any questions anyone would have had about the blip and the coming back of the blip and the implications of any of that.
Yeah.
Marvel just kind of said, hey, here's a funny joke. Now we're going to move on with the plot of this movie. So
when you're interweaving like 20-something movies, you kind of have to, because everybody. I usually go into stuff open-minded, so I wasn't thinking like, well, what happened during the 5 years to this or that? Yeah. You just gotta accept it for face value. But
it's nice to sit back and think about when you're not in the middle of a movie.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to be sitting there trying to enjoy a Spider-Man movie or another Marvel movie, going, okay, well, how does this tie back into this?
Yeah.
First time in, I just kind of want to bask in Marvel's glory and enjoy the movie.
But they've done an amazing job. We couldn't get 2 Star Wars movies in a row that weren't disjointed. And then, Marvel, was able to throw together 20-something. And then, there's twists and turns and plot holes and, well, what about this and that? But I think on they have a pretty firm ground on this conjoined, joined universe.
And they do a great job of exactly what Dan is saying about bringing the spectacle and the wow factor and getting us excited while we're sitting in the theater. And then as we walk out after the post-credit scene,
you frantically Google everyone.
Or you kind of say, wait, what about this thing? What if Fury was with the it's the kind of thing it's fun to talk about with friends online. It's fun to speculate. But I think, you can even enjoy the movies, even watching them again on Disney Plus or wherever they're streaming, and still get just as wrapped up into them now and not get too overwhelmed about some of the logic questions or some of the big questions that don't involve the story that Marvel clearly didn't care about because they didn't want to make a 4-hour movie. 3. So
Yeah. Well, I think Disney Plus has a great opportunity too to kind of answer some of those smaller questions, right? What did happen in, a little bit more detail in between the blip, right? And how did people recover from it, right? And I think we're going to see a lot of that with, Winter Soldier and the Falcon, WandaVision, a lot of these smaller shows. Loki's another big one.
That's going to be a very awesome.
Completely changed his little storyline. So I think they've got a great platform to be able to answer those little questions before we start getting to the bigger movies again.
Yeah, what we need to do is we need to get every person that watches this video to write Marvel, write Disney, and demand some kind of series, whether it's animated, probably, or live action. We need a series of 6 episodes that's Captain America delivering those Infinity Gems back to where they belong.
What is his conversation with Red Skull like? I mean, like, hey.
The people will do it. They will. They probably already have.
Do it, yeah. You can have that one for free, Disney. I don't need residuals.
I would also like to have all the service announcements that we saw in Far From Home, where it's Captain America and he's in the little gym, he's in his full suit, and he's explaining something that went on, and it's just little thing.
Captain America PSA for that.
Weird. I just want to see little PSAs of that. It could be little 2-minute ones on YouTube. I don't care.
So you just came back to life, and you found out 5 years have passed.
Right.
So I think we're up to where have we made it to a year out now? If you got Loki's 2021. So we're obviously later on we'll have another episode about this, but let's wrap it. We got a few more minutes to talk MCU. Probably finish up with the next because it's been in the news a lot. I think the ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
Mandarin.
Yeah.
The real one this
The
time.
real one.
I still have mixed feelings because I want to hope that this isn't Marvel just caving to fans who freaked out over Iron Man 3 and demanded the real Mandarin. But I did love their one shot.
Hail to the King.
Hail to the King, right? That featured the Mandarin.
He's out there.
Yeah. So we know he's a real character. I'm excited to see the Mandarin in real life.
Yeah, should be interesting.
I'm
I think
excited.
it's because it'll give a nice little mini villain for the rest of the movies kind of going forward, right? Because the 10 Rings were there in and out throughout the rest of the movies, and while we may have got a fake Mandarin, I think we could get something very good going forward and just be a nice little reoccurring threat that we have to deal with.
Yeah, I agree, and especially it's not just one person; it's essentially a huge network of, I don't know, terrorists or wizards or, whatever Marvel decides to do with that storyline.
Yeah.
I think I'm pumped. I'm a huge Korean and Japanese, and then Kung Fu movies, love it. And then Marvel, so far, if you think about it, they've just been throwing darts and then they've been hitting bullseye almost every time. We've got, like I said, Winter Soldier, you've gotten spy thrillers, you've gotten magic, you've gotten spaceship, Guardians of the Galaxy, you got Thor, we've gotten all these stuff, and then when Doctor Strange and the Multi, coming a horror vibe. Now we're gonna get a Marvel Kung Fu movie, and then some of the older Crouching Tiger and Hero and some of that. I love those movies. So Marvel's gonna get a Kung Fu movie, guys. This could be, and then I don't know, and then I've only read side stuff that I have no idea the truth of it or anything like that. Probably not, but that might be the introduction of maybe that's where we're gonna first see mutants at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they said at Comic-Con that was definitely coming along with Fantastic Four. So
yeah. I've read some rumors, and I don't know how true they are, but one of the rumors I read about plot synopsis almost made Shang-Chi sound like Marvel's version of Mortal Kombat, where it was kind of like battle royale or wizard / fighting kind of thing.
Right.
So I'm
really
with you.
was from when I read that. It literally was ShangChi Mortal Kombat.
Like the
I don't know.
comics? The comics?
No, like
Okay.
what the movie may or may not be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Tor. I am all for a Marvel movie that mixes superhero stuff with kung fu. And if any property is ready for that, it's Shang-Chi, I think. So
Right.
and then you mentioned earlier the Doctor Strange sequel that has had some public drama as far as writer director changes. But any movie fan worth their weight, has got to be excited for Sam Raimi to get back into directing comic book movies.
So good.
At least they didn't bring in someone who sucked, or they brought in someone who's good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
those Spider-Man movies when they came out, because that time frame, I don't remember the years, but when we got the first X-Men and then we got Spider-Man, that was, pretty close. And they were, Marvel had sold everything off and it's different studios and stuff like that. But me personally, the Spider-Man movies don't hold up very well. But when they came out, was amazing. And then I am a huge Sam Raimi fan. His earlier, I'm a huge, anything with Bruce Campbell, I love Bruce Campbell. So, and then he puts Bruce Campbell in everything. So it's like good.
Yeah, I always thought Spider-Man was kind of a weird fit for Sam Raimi because Spider-Man, the character, is one of the brightest, poppiest characters in comics, whereas Sam Raimi seems to have a darker sensibility about him. And anyone that's seen any of his stuff knows that he rides a great line between dark and horror, but still palatable for middle school kids. Even one of my favorite modern movies of his, oh my gosh, I just lost the title. Dragon Hell was a PG-13 movie, and he mixes the humor with the dark, with the effects so well. I can't wait to see what he does with a character like Doctor Strange. And I know some friends of mine who have worked on Doctor Strange and the first movie were originally headed down towards a legit Marvel horror movie. And with Sam Raimi taking over the reins, I think we can definitely expect the darker side of MCU with his stuff.
Oh, yeah. Excited. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on and welcome to stay. We're going to transition now to our, what's up next? Oh, some of the shows we're pitching that are coming out and either just came out or came out in the last week or coming up in the next week that we think might be on you guys, should be on you guys' radar. I'll kick it off. Yesterday on Hulu, The Great was released. And then literally I walked from downstairs. My wife and I and my sister have binged the first 7 episodes since we started watching that last night. It's a great period comedy / drama. If you like that's going The Favorite, the movie that was recent, this is about Catherine the Great trying to get rid of Peter. And then it's a huge, Elle Fanning is doing an amazing job. So it's a great, great show. A little risque for the younger ones, but I would definitely recommend it. It's a great show. What do you got, Danny?
I've heard good things.
All right, so a few years back, I watched The Snowpiercer. I don't know if you guys know The Snowpiercer. Amazing movie. You're in the snow on a train, trying to get to the front of the train. I'm not going to try to spoil it because I don't know how it's going to intertwine with the actual show, but I loved it. Great fight scenes. I hope they keep some of that intact. It's all about class, but I don't know too much about the show compared to the movie. I know it's going to be loosely based. I know that of course, you have now it's an episodic adventure instead of a nice compact 90-minute movie, but it was amazing, and I hope they do it justice. I'm excited for it. It comes out tomorrow on TNT, or depending on when this is released, so on May 17th on TNT.
How about you, Dan?
Yeah, so another thing coming out, keeping with our superheroes kind of theme is Stargirl coming out May 18th on CW, I believe. Looks like a fun little show. I think my 9-year-old will definitely enjoy this. Quick, witty, action-packed. I think it's actually going to be really good.
And then for our guest, Will wanted to pitch a show. What you got?
So yeah, for those of you who don't know, in 2018, the reboot of She-Ra, no, if you guys heard that, the reboot She-Ra and the Princesses of Power came out in 2018. Yesterday, the 5th and final season of it dropped. I locked myself in the bedroom and binge watched all of it. It was great. They absolutely they definitely nailed the entire series. It was perfect. So yeah, highly recommend it.
Nice.
Sounds good. I see you got a prop there, huh?
Yeah, they came out at the Comic-Con panel last year.
Oh, were you able to see the panel last year?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
It's great. It was really fun. So yeah, go watch the series if none of you have. It's amazing.
I think that's a good pitch. We'll go on the rest real quick, but just a good pitch for outside of the big cons. You guys should check out any cons in your area. Anything that has, I'm not an autograph or photo guy. I'm definitely a panel person, but even some of the smaller cons in your area, check out if those folks are there and they're talking about shows or movies they've been in. But our favorite one is obviously San Diego, that tier going down we're not going to have this year. They just announced they're going to have the virtual one though, and then so we'll see how that shapes up. They being a panel person, that's my favorite thing about the con. Hopefully we'll get to see some cool stuff out of there. What do you guys think about them saying we're going to get a virtual San Diego Comic-Con?
I'm excited. I mean, I'm a member of the museum. I've been to events at the Comic-Con Museum. They've live streamed some of them as well, and I think they're going to do a great job. I know that they've been talking to studios and other pretty big names as far as getting technology settled. And I think we're at a place in our economy where especially entertainment companies are going to want that kind of a platform to boost the signal of whatever show they have coming out, whatever comics are going to be ramped up and published by late July. So I think that they have an opportunity to have a pretty substantial virtual thing, especially with a couple months to plan.
There's also some companies that have already been doing it. I know for the past month or so, IDW has been either live streaming or uploading like hour-long virtual panels, which have been really cool to watch.
That's cool.
So yeah.
So
all right,
be fun.
We'll finish up with our pitches for the week. So we just covered some of the new shows that just came out or are coming out. I wanted to go really quick into some hidden gems that we think you guys should check out. Oh, Dan, can you adjust our? We're on 3 screens now. Did we lose Danny?
I'm back.
All right. No worries. Well, you're going to lead it off. We wanted to pitch some either shows, podcasts, media, something you should check out you might know about that we think would be great, especially in this time where we're all desperate for something new or, something to check out as we're binging everything. What you got for us, Danny?
So I was checking out Hulu. So Hulu, Solar Opposites. So it's a great show. It's a lot of laughs. It's an adult animation, so there is a lot of heavy language. There's a lot of blood in a comedic way, however. So there's a couple of interesting deaths, a lot of comedic torturing type of scenarios. But it's a good show. They the voice of Rick and Morty is in there as one of the main characters, and as well as what's his name, Middleditch.
Thomas Middleditch.
Yeah, the guy from Silicon Valley. Now, just to kind of piggyback on that, if you still haven't gotten enough of Middleditch, there's also on Netflix, Middleditch and Schwartz, that you can go ahead and check out. It's an improv show. They go ahead and make it up on the spot. It is a little hard to follow sometimes because they have so many characters, and it's only 2 of them, and they have multiple characters. So that's another great little show if you want a good laugh. It's just ridiculous and fun. So those 2 shows, I would definitely go ahead and check out.
Those guys are 2 of the best, like, long form improv. Like, yeah, that they have just 3 episodes on Netflix.
Yeah,
they are hilarious. And then and that's part of the fun. I think the one where they were in the school, each one of them was trying to do like 12 characters, and then they were getting confused.
They forgot one.
They did a timeout, and they're like, "Are you supposed to be this guy?" Or am I supposed to be this guy?
Yeah, I love it, but for some people, it may be too much. They're like, I can't wrap my head around it. I think it's amazing.
All right. Well, since we talked about improv, guys, you finish it off. My pitch is actually for a podcast, and it's called "How Did This Get Made?" And it's Paul Scheer, June Diane Raphael, I'm saying her last name, and Jason Mantzoukas. And if you saw them, they were all on The League. June Diane is on Grace and Frankie, but great improv group. Jason Mantzoukas is amazing. But basically, the podcast, they review either the really, really bad movies that are so bad they're good, like Birdemic, what's the Sleepaway Camp, those like camp classics, and then break them apart, and then Zardoz. But they have, I think, around 150 episodes now. They've been out for 6-7 years. And then whenever like anything Vin Diesel comes out, they always have Adam Scott from Parks and Rec on to talk about. He's their Vin Diesel expert. And then they also do movies that are like, how did this get made? Like, how did Fast and Furious 9 become what it is? You remember, this was like guys like stealing a TV or something, TVs in the first episode, and what we have now for Fast and Furious. So great, super funny podcast. They're great improv. They do some local. Now they sell out, arenas, and then do a live podcast. But really check it out. If you're a fan of movies, you're gonna get put on a couple really, really good, really, really bad movies to check out. So How Did This Get Made podcast, wherever you download your podcasts. How about you, Dan?
So mine, my wife and I have actually been going through this series right now. If you've not, since we were talking about Bruce Campbell earlier, Burn Notice. Phenomenal show, Amazon Prime. Jeffrey Donovan plays a burnt spy who is trying to get back at whoever burnt him. And as a spy, he has to play several different people as he's going about his life. And he plays them very well. He's not just the same mundane character through 7 seasons. He is 100 different people, and he plays all 100 different very well. There's great chemistry between himself, Bruce Donovan, Bruce Campbell. I'm mixing names now. And all the actors that are great character growth through the whole thing. And what's even better is the show's finished, so you can binge watch and not get caught up and then have to wait, which I absolutely hate. Which is why I'm behind on a lot of great stuff that's out there right now. But Burn Notice is a phenomenal show. Definitely recommend it.
Sounds good. All right, for our guests, you guys can close us out. What's something you want us to check out?
So, for those of you who are tired of staying at the screen, we just want to take a break and read some comics. I recommend reading Booster Gold. For those of you who don't know, he's a DC character. He's been around since the 80s, and he's a time traveler. And in 2007 they launched. So he's as a great creative team. If you like time travel, if you like sci-fi, if you like spotlighting on fairly obscure DC characters, I highly recommend it. It's a really great series.
Thanks. Nice. Yeah, I had a friend, like you said, it launched in the 80s. So when I was collecting Cap comics, he went with DC. He was doing Vigilante and Booster Gold were his two, and I absolutely loved him. I didn't get it. I was a Marvel guy. He was the DC kid. All right. Well, thanks so much for our guests, Doug and Will, to come on. Thanks to both of the Dan and Danny. And then thanks for you guys for checking us out. You can look for us on social media, and then we'd really appreciate it. Oh, did we find Bakugo?
We did.
I'd really appreciate it if you guys could like and subscribe or share if you thought it was fun, and then definitely check us out next week. Thanks for checking in at the Dabble Den. You guys have a good week. Stay healthy, stay safe.
All right.
See ya.
Right. Thanks.
Justice for Han.